we'll now start discussing some football transfer news, and that is important because so much actually went on. It was ridiculous as to how much actually happened, especially in the Premier League. But we'll start with Manchester United, since actually that is a little more eventful in that sense. I'll bring up your transfers, and then you can talk about your manager and the kind of things that have happened in the season so far.
Doesn't matter. I'll tell you, the transfer strategy this time was quite clear. They
I
wanted
mean,
to
it's good
completely
to see
revamp
them
the
up.
attack. They have, in the eyes of most fans, they have messed up by not enhancing the midfield. There have been a lot
Yes.
of exits. He's been ruthless with the exits. And the saddest exit amongst these has been Rasmus Højlund. I really wanted Højlund to play. I've always been a big fan of Højlund. He had a very tough
Mm,
season last season, but the team was
mm.
bad. And so
Yes.
he was poor. But with better number 10s behind him, with Bruno in midfield, I think he would have been a much better. You didn't need to spend the Sesko money today. You could have waited on Sesko perhaps and gone for a midfielder. But Amarim has a system. His 3-4-3 interpretation is very different. If you look at the statistics already from the first three games, United are a very direct, very vertical team. And so
Yes. Yes.
he expects his keeper. He's been starting off matches with Bayandir, Altay Bayandir,
Yeah.
who makes his own errors on shot stopping. But his
Yes.
passing is actually his long passing is incredible. Like I've been stunned by some superlative 40-50 yard passes that he makes, which are flat, spills through to the midfield. And the idea is, in your ordinary build-up, almost every team will have a central midfielder who's your number six, who's your controller, who will drop back, be close to the defense, and build through him. United don't do that. Because it's a back three system. It's the center back, the central center back, who builds through and who has the responsibility to initiate the attack, to initiate the build-up. And so that CB is expected to be able to pass long. Uh,
Yes.
the verticality creates a new problem, and this is why, for example, Kobe Mainu is itching to leave. One of our best talents that we produce out of the academy for midfield is itching to leave, because for an extremely cultured midfielder like him, who has multiple sets of skills, this is a very bad system, because this system
Yes.
actually requires a midfielder to be mostly a defensive runner throughout, right? But to
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to take barely any time on the ball and to pass long to the wings. This system does not build up much through the middle. Now,
Yeah.
that may change when
Mm.
he has a better midfield setup. So, for example, if they were, as they were talking about, if they'd gone and got Carlos Baleba,
Yeah.
Baleba would
Yeah.
have been the replacement for Casemiro, has more
Yes.
legs. And then perhaps the second midfielder can be that much more cultured kind of midfielder who can build up slow. Because without that slow build up, you don't have control. And
Yeah.
United
Yeah.
lose control in games quite often. They have had blistering starts to games. I mean, they could have put Arsenal away in the first half. They could have put every single team that they played. They could have demolished in the first half, except for Grimsby, which was just a bad day. Bad selection, started his second 11 and just went to a disaster. But
Yes.
I don't like this verticality, because this verticality does not bring control. And if you
Yeah.
don't have control, you will lose more matches than you imagine. Of course, you've created enough firepower up top to be able to win enough reasonable number of games. So he will have a better standing, but he's constantly under pressure, man.
Yeah.
His next two games are City away and Chelsea at home. And if he,
Yeah.
let's say, comes out of that with 1 point, the pressure is going to get ramped up.
Yes. 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 But my always the question to you, and your answer is the same. So I'm not going to really beat the dead horse too much. But it's it's telling that there are half of United fans are already saying Amorim out. Half still want him
No, no,
in.
no, no. I my problem with Ruben Amorim is singular. I don't
Yes.
like the way he plays with the midfield. I don't like it at all.
Mm.
It's his problem. It's not very dissimilar to ETH. So, look, what do you do in football? You control for distance between players and the length of passes, right? That's what you essentially control for,
Yes.
and the speed of passing, right? The frequency of it. That's what you control for. So Pep wants a more compacted system, wants players much closer together. Passes should be short, and you move around and you move up that way, and that is very secure because you're constantly keeping possession, and there's always
Yes.
players behind the ball.
Yes.
right? And then when you need to commit, you commit when you spot the overload. You keep moving the ball around. You spot the overload on one of the on one side or the other, and that's when you commit. Right? And
Yes.
that's been very successful for him, but it stopped being successful for a while. City have had a horrible start to the season because they are getting killed by teams who have this verticality,
Yes.
right? And it happened last season as well. They used to get last season, people blamed it on the absence of Rodri. Rodri's been around this season. He can't stop it either.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they were up 1-0 against Brighton. For 60 minutes, they were in control. Brighton made four subs. In 11 minutes, they were 2-1 down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So football's changing to that extent. That would suggest that Amorim is on to something. That his higher verticality works, but it is extreme. What he's doing is extreme. Therefore very little control in the center of the park. I don't see a United team at 1-0 up, like Arsenal can do, capable of just killing the game for a while. 15, 20 minutes of just knocking the ball around, keeping control
Uh,
against a weaker team, they're not capable of doing that. And
yeah.
that's because of the way he plays in midfield.
Yeah, this actually reminds me of a famous NFL team actually, which also had this no stop offense. It was called a no stop offense, and the Houston Oilers, now the Tennessee Titans, used to run it under Warren Moon. So Warren Moon used to do this no stop offense, no huddle offense essentially, and they did not have an off switch. Like they could score 60 points a game, 70 points a game, which is a big amount in American football, by the way. But at the same
But
time,
it's an
they,
insane amount. It's a ridiculous amount.
yeah, they could easily blow out teams like 40, 50 points. But the problem was the offense took like 20 minutes to hit 50 points. The defense had to stay the rest of the 40 minutes out there, which tired the defense out. It basically made them a glass cannon. They had zero ability to control the game for long periods unless they were absolutely shooting bullets at all times. And Warren Moon is a Hall of Famer, by the way. Warren Moon was a Hall of Fame quarterback. He
Yeah,
could do it.
so this is not too
But yeah,
dissimilar to what Ten Hag was. Ten Hag also had a 3-1-6 build up, and
yeah,
it induced injuries. What you would see is midfielders from United, in particular, and fullbacks running all the way up for the attack and then charging back, right? And you can't keep doing this all season long in the league. He's already got two injuries, muscle injuries. Cunha's got a muscle injury, and Mount has a muscle injury.
yeah,
It's because they're being made to run up and back, up and back, up and back all the time. And this is his problem with Menu. Menu is more cultured. He's slower midfielder. He's not as physical, and he demands this. And it's a very weak range of skills that you demand from a midfield player. No midfielder will want to play for him beyond the point. Not a cultured one certainly wouldn't. And
yeah,
it may generate goals, so you never know because the chance creation from United is also kind of mythical. A lot of feel good United fans are throwing around stats saying we have the highest XG, open play
yeah,
XG, we have the highest chance creation, etc. But it's really an agglomeration of bad chances.
yeah,
And where
yeah,
we've created clean chances, it's come from brilliant play rather than structural play. So the structural
yeah,
play is the only time it creates an opportunity. For example, Mount gets the ball in his own half,
yeah,
right? He's playing as a 10 or a false nine. He gets the ball in his own half, and he is able to pass to Brian Mbumo. Now, Mbumo is a special player. Mbumo is like Salah light. He's the
yeah,
only one who has that speed, physical running speed, along with the shot, power of the shot
yeah, yeah,
that Salah possesses. Doesn't have, and a reasonable amount of dribbling. But you
yeah,
can't sustain this, man. You cannot sustain this for a season. You'll have injuries all over the place. You will have gaps in your defense everywhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Defensive errors have so far been the cause of goals, but let's see. I mean, Amorim wants to gamble on this, and the club will back him on the gamble.
yeah,
One of the big problems we feel as fans is one of the things we're proudest about with United is whenever United are in a dynastic era,
yeah.
we have at least 5 to 6 to 8 properly usable players from the academy, right? And
Yes,
about
yes,
four will be starters.
yes,
And right now, the only player he's taking from the academy is Menu, and even then, he's just keeping him on the bench. We have a record of 87 consecutive years, the highest in Europe, of at least one academy player being in the squad. And
yes,
that record is under threat this season for sure. because
Mm.
his demands are so different from what our players have been coached with in different systems throughout. I don't know who will fit. There's, by the way, there's a crazy amount of talent coming in from the United Academy. If you guys don't know this, Google for a guy called JJ Gabriel. You have to watch. This kid is called the young Messi. He is extraordinary. At the age of 14, he's destroying the under 18s league, destroying it like it's hat trick a game, right? His feet are stunning. He's very
I see.
rapid. He stays on the ball. It's very hard to throw him off the ball. And there's a few more. There's not one. There's a few more that are coming through. But they've all been raised on a more methodical system of football. This is a bit haphazard. It's a bit scared of him. Scared. Amorim, I think at his best, when he has all the players he needs, then he does have a system that will keep a lot of possession. But he likes to keep possession in the other half. So first point of acceleration is get into the other half. There he wants
Yeah.
to go long. And you
Yes.
end up losing a lot of balls going long, right?
Yeah.
But that system of his, I'm telling you, when Arsenal played us, Arsenal have also
Yeah.
played Liverpool. Arsenal played Liverpool in a stifling manner. They had them for a long time. Liverpool just come up with a remarkable free kick by Soboslai. That match was one of the dullest matches, lowest XG matches ever, because Arsenal were able
Yeah.
to lock them down like Arsenal do. Against us, Arsenal could not lock us down, and they played deeper
Yeah.
because of this tiered verticality. So let's see how it plays out. He's going to live and die by this, but he's going to
Yeah.
get a lot of support from the board. Uh,
Yeah.
Ineos have a very good, in my opinion, a good transfer record for the players they're picking. But the
Yeah.
overall strategy, if they'd had a midfielder purchase this season, I think the season would have looked different.
Yeah,
But they've
that's
gone
what
with
a
the
lot of
priority of going
United
with
fans,
strikers.
even online, are saying. A lot of United fans were saying that you needed a midfielder, you needed this ability to have this guy to cover for injuries. That was one obvious reason. And as you were talking about the verticality aspect, you need a more direct defensive mastermind as well. So that was one thing that
The
was
standouts in the
definitely.
defense, though, there are a couple of standouts. Uh, Matthias Delict may have found his home. He's superb at United. He's absolutely exceptional at United. And he's taking that leadership role slowly. And in Lenny Euro, we've got a generational talent. This guy is going to
Yeah.
be one of the best defenders throughout the stages of his career. He's not going. His skill set is so complete. You're not going to get within a season or two. People are going to be talking about him as the best, one of the best defenders in the world.
Yeah. As we can see here, I mean, yeah. So basically, you have your Bayern because you want long passes to go. Cunha, Umbueno as usual, and the rest. Uh, you should really give a hand for Luke Shaw because he's been such a faithful servant for such a long time.
Yeah, well, the faithful servant and all is okay. He's not produced enough seasons, enough games. Luke Shaw is one of the highest, most gifted technical players I've ever seen in my life. He's a phenomenal footballer, but he's never fit
Mhm.
enough. And right
Yeah,
now, he's not even being used at left wing back. He's being used as the left centre back,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? But my God, Luke Shaw is a he is he has started as the left centre back this season, but he's been a disaster on the defensive side. Absolute
No,
disaster.
right now he's a right back, isn't he?
No, 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 no. This graphic is completely wrong. He's playing as the
Okay.
left centre back.
Oh, he's playing as a left one. Okay, you flip them around. Got it. Got it. Got it. So yeah, and you sent me that photograph of Real Madrid firing one of their chaps because they didn't get Euro. They wanted Euro on a free transfer and stuff like that. According to me, that would have been hilarious if they actually did it. I can see why Euro is a great talent, but I think the transfer market team have more than made up for it with the transfers they did this time around. Not an issue. So let's go over some Real Madrid transfers right now. So let's talk about them now. Yeah,
I mean, as a United fan, looking at Madrid right now, it's painful. All of football, though, I have to say, at some level, is painful. So I mean, discussing more physicality than skills. There's not
yeah,
one player I look at nowadays and think I want to watch this guy dribble. Maybe Lamine Yamal at most, but really killer dribblers are not in the game anymore.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. But you're not going to find many risk takers, are you? That is another unfortunate reality that you're again and again going to see, because managers are so averse to risk taking that they just think, okay, fine, what's the point of buying a dribbler? So if we look at the transfers here right now, right? So firstly, let me actually start with the easiest one, which is Gonzalo Garcia, by the way. So Gonzalo Garcia has effectively made a case to be Real Madrid's super sub off the bench, second striker, third striker, fourth striker, if you want. And he has instincts. This boy has instincts. He's one of our best heading strikers in a long time. Like, we didn't have that many good headers after Benzema left. Vinny cannot head the ball very well. Bape is on and off. He doesn't have a consistent header. Rodrigo, less said the better. But point is, Gonzalo Garcia has a header. This guy can
Look,
hit the ball,
if you have a
and he's an
striker,
area.
I don't know Gonzalo Garcia myself, but if you have a striker who's good with his head, then he's
Yeah,
probably playing the more conventional number nine role, which is to take on the defenders, sit on their shoulders, and actually wrestle with them and try and win the ball in the air.
yeah, yeah,
Mbappe or Vinny or any of the others are runners. They want
yeah.
the ball in front of them and they want free space to run into.
Absolutely,
Right. So
absolutely.
that is the logic, by the way, for why United switched Hoyland and Sesko. Sesko is another
Yeah,
one who wants to play against the defenders. Has a lot of has a very powerful shot, but is an exceptional header of the ball. The guy's hang time is ridiculous, bro. It's absolutely ridiculous, and he's a giant. So that's
yeah,
what I think teams are now. This one striker system from the time it arrived, right? Nobody keeps more than two strikers in their squad.
yeah,
Uh, and if both strikers are unfit, they'll play a false nine or they'll
yeah,
play an
yeah,
attacking midfielder in the striking role.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
bloody boring to watch. Strikers used to be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, there was an era in which striker upon striker was a killer.
yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
so they want two varieties. They want the runner,
yeah,
right? And they also want this uh, traditional nine.
yeah,
By the runner, I mean that's also a player that comes deep, picks up the ball, and will bring the side runners into the game, channel runners into the game.
yeah, yeah,
It's all so defined. Every team does the same thing. I don't know what to say
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, 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 that's there.
It's
That's
just
there.
executing it well. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I was actually
I mean,
pleased to see.
even Atletico is doing this now.
Yeah, yeah, Atletico is doing this, and they're doing it badly. They're having a really bad start to their season, by the way. That's another thing we'll have to discuss.
Nobody is a different kind of team anymore, man. It's just not there.
Again, standardization. I told you, right? It's like music, 60s, 70s. You go back to the 60s, 70s, you find so much difference in music. Now you see everyone's literally a copycat of each other. Look at the lyrics.
No,
Rush in the 70s used to write about space, used to write about civil rights, used to write about crazy stuff, used to write about empires, used to write about Lord of the Rings. Led Zeppelin's greatest songs are Lord of the Rings, Greed, Fantasy, a lot of things like that. Black Sabbath, all of their greatest songs are religiously themed or war themes. Like, that was the kind of writing which was there. Rap still has it to an extent. Eminem is beyond belief. I agree, but
bro.
point is,
Think
you
of a
don't get
song
it
like
everywhere.
White Rabbit. That's Alice in Wonderland reduced to a rock song. White Rabbit.
By
That's the
whom?
kind of
Which
story. That's the kind of storytelling that you'll never ever get anymore in music.
who wrote White Rabbit? Which band was are you
Who
talking about?
wrote it? I'll have to check because it's been performed by a number of bands. But White Rabbit was first performed, I think, by Jefferson Airplane. That I
Ah,
remember, but
Jefferson Airplane.
I want to see who wrote it.
Written by Grace Slick, their vocalist. Yeah, yeah, got
Right,
it,
right.
got it.
So he wrote
Yeah.
it. If you
She
haven't heard
she
this song,
she wrote
yeah,
it.
but if
She
you
wrote it.
haven't heard
Yes.
this song, and if
Yeah,
you haven't
I
heard the
have. And
lyrics,
now it's coming back to me. I had forgotten the name
bro,
of the song. Sorry.
this is some of the best storytelling. This is
Yeah,
Alice in
yeah, yeah.
Wonderland reduced to a song.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember the song. I've listened to the song. It was like 8, 9 years ago. So obviously I've forgotten much of what I had listened to. So yeah, that is another thing. The memory had faded.
I mean,
But yeah,
think of a song like Bohemian Rhapsody.
yeah, yeah. Point.
So perhaps we're becoming so cookie cutter in everything that sort of the maverick, the artist is gone. And it's not that there used to be one, it used to be so many more. The joy of these things is going away, man.
There was
It's
this
to me that's reflected in tennis. It's reflected cricket. I mean, people take joy out of T20. I just don't get it. Every match feels the same. I have no memory of a single T20 match as being a more special match in the year. Maybe only one. I'll never forget the 2007 World Cup semi-final against Australia, because that
yeah
Yuvraj Singh innings is maybe, and of course the Pakistan match in 21,
2022 2022
2022,
22,
right?
yeah
But that's also because of moments. Not,
yeah
I mean, 2007, yes, the whole game it was a phenomenal match,
yeah
but 22 is because of that last 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, right? Now the
2007,
game is
even the final was a phenomenal match. 2007, even the final was a
outstanding match, right?
yeah.
But now, but the final didn't have any remarkable performances, right? There's no,
But it
like,
was a
I
very
know
high degree of consistency from everybody. Like the match was just a 5-run win, and India is one of only two teams in T20 World Cups to ever win defending a total. West Indies is the other, so that itself is remarkable, isn't it? So that's the reality of that. So
T20 cricket will never. I don't have one memory of an IPL match that stands out for me. But then that's me. IPL fanatics will have plenty of memories. But I'm
again,
saying,
it's a generation
it
gap, isn't it?
thematically keeps coming back to this shit. Everybody plays the same way. Everybody, like today, your midfield at Real Madrid
Mm.
will not want to incorporate both players like Modric and Cruz.
Cruz, they still would. Modric is beyond his age, though. That's
No, no,
the
no,
other
not
problem.
specifically those players, but even players like that. Because
How
now
many are you going to get like Modric and Cruz nowadays? That's another problem. You're not going to get that many, right?
profile, yeah. By the way, speaking of
Profile, yeah,
profile, the shift in Aurelio Tchouameni's game is phenomenal to watch. His long
yeah,
passing has suddenly come along. I mean, he's becoming a
yeah.
complete midfielder.
Yes, 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 yes.
So that's the player to watch, I think, in Europe this season. This could be a big breakthrough year for him. He is starting to look like Pogba to me.
A more mature version of him as well. He is not as much of a head case either. He's far more mature than what Pogba was even in his best years.
Pogba was always mature, man. Pogba just gets a bad rap because Pogba was so good. There is a lot of racism in the way Paul Pogba is treated. Paul Pogba is a fucking brilliant footballer.
Yeah. So let's talk about the other things. So firstly, I was very pleased to see that Alonso actually made a statement that went completely against Ancelotti's pretty bad statement last year. Ancelotti last year in July, I still remember this. He said we don't have time to incorporate academy players into our first team. I was thinking this man has lost his damn mind. Our academy is not as good as La Masia. I'm not making that argument at all. La Masia is the greatest one in the world. But when it comes to academies, Castilla is not a bad one. And he's literally saying to our youth players, "You don't have any future at Madrid." So what is the youth system for? So Valverde came through our youth system. That should tell you everything you need to know about the youth system, right?
No,
So
no, and,
that
and
kind
by the way, what he's talking about has been reflected. Carreras came through your youth system, but came to United and then we
Carreras,
lost. Carreras represents one of Ten Hag's many blunderous mistakes.
yeah, yeah,
Blunderous.
yeah,
Carreras should
yeah,
be our left wing back right now. He should be our
yeah.
left wing back.
Yeah. So again, that is one of the few things that I do hold Ancelotti accountable for. Like he stopped thinking about the academy altogether. Whereas Alonso openly on record said the academy is a stepping stone for our success, and we are going to use it a lot this season. That is why Franco Mastantuono is not registered as a first team player. He's been registered as a Castilian. He's a Castilian right now, so that is very important to note as well. So it's a good thing that they have put Mastantuono in the academy where he can get real minutes as well, away from the first team. Let him mature.
Yeah,
It's not an issue.
but unless Madrid come up with a system where they're going to give more patience to managers, managers will do exactly what Ancelotti spoke of, which
Yeah,
is to
but
try
Perez
and win over
Perez
time.
hasn't been as trigger happy as in recent years. He gave Ancelotti 4 full years. He's going to
Yeah.
give Alonso
Ancelotti
three
gave
full
him
years.
plenty of Champions League wins, though.
Yeah. No, no. Point is, he wasn't as trigger happy. He didn't, openly speak against the manager. Like, for example, with Mr. Rafa Benitez, Perez was literally in war with him in the press. Benitez was failing him,
Has
and
to
then
be. Rafa Benitez plays the most prosaic football you can think of. It's just not meant for Real Madrid.
yeah, 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 yeah. So my point was always like you need patience, and Perez as an old man is finally getting some patience. He's basically becoming the opposite of Jerry Jones in this scenario. Jerry Jones is a nightmare. NFL fans of Dallas Cowboys will know what I mean. By the way, I absolutely loathe the Dallas Cowboys and everything that goes along with that organization. I hope Jerry Jones lives forever in that regard. But point is, when it comes to Fiorentino Perez, Perez has made his mistakes. I completely agree. But compared to the clowns that are there at Barcelona, this man is a literal god. He doesn't do that kind of nonsensical errors like getting Coutinho for 200 million pounds. That is the kind of nonsense that sinks your club for a long time. Which is why I loved the fact that we were able to get Hoyson for cheap. Hoyson already looks a complete player. He's one of our best defenders already. He's doing long passes like Chouameni. He's cutting through defenses himself. He has a good header. He's a threat from corners. He's doing everything, and he's one of the most humble. He's the one of the humblest, nicest men to
Bro,
be around as well.
Hoyson is a successful Premier League defender, so you have no fear on the defensive side with him.
Yeah. And Carrera's goal line block basically has endeared him to every Real Madrid fan in the recent match against Mallorca. He literally
You
threw his
know,
body on the line for that.
United fans used to bitch about the fact that we're buying players from
Mm.
smaller Premier League teams.
Yeah,
Bournemouth sold their entire defense from last season.
yeah,
Hoyson
yeah.
being one of the players, they sold their entire defense from last season. Sold
Entire
for
defense.
massive price, right? Liverpool built their winning team through a lot of purchases from Southampton,
Yeah,
Southampton's academy, and Brighton,
yeah,
right? So doesn't matter where these players are, the skills are visible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So if we go to our current player list, the thing is I'll bring up our schedule as well. The thing is I'm very pleased with Mastantuono. Mastantuono has been really mature. What I've really seen from this guy is he's willing to make mistakes and learn from them. He literally wants the ball. Whenever he makes a mistake, he goes back and gets it. This guy actually has heart. He has heart, which a lot of footballers lack. He has some ability to create on the wings as well. He's very young. He's only 18, so I'm not going to put pressure on him. Like Hendrik, these two have a lot of growing to do. They're your next generation. They're going to take your club forward. I'm not putting any pressure on these folks, but these,
Mastantuono is Argentine. Argentine players are generally mature, they're generally sharp, they're generally
yeah,
very high footballing intellect because their system of play in Argentina. We talk about Cruyff, we talk about
yeah,
possession play in Barcelona. Argentina have forever played that system. Forever.
yeah,
The best match to watch from the last World Cup to figure out what Argentina do, right? They went and
yeah.
lost their first match out of the blue.
The Saudi Arabia match.
Yeah, of all matches, right?
Yeah,
The next match was against Mexico and it was a must win.
yeah,
You watch that first half against Mexico. They didn't score a single goal.
yeah,
Okay, and the Mexicans look like they're controlling the Argentines without the ball, but they weren't. Argentina just kept for that first half,
yeah,
just kept moving the ball, just kept prodding and pushing just to see where the gaps are.
yeah,
Second half starts and 15 minutes they finished again.
yeah, 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 yeah,
They are footballing intellect wise, they are as high as anyone.
yeah, yeah. So if we look at our current squad, some chaps were saying we have missed out on a couple of transfer targets. While that is true, we do miss out on quite a few. We hit on others, we don't hit on others as well. I feel this is fairly fine. Our only issue is injuries, but we have a fully healthy squad this time. Uh, the ones we are definitely going to say goodbye to in a year, Alaba is gone. Alaba is gone after this year. Alaba is one of the greatest bad transfers that we have ever done. It's not even that egregiously bad, but it's really bad when you consider his injury history. It's not his performance, it's his injuries that have destroyed his career. right? So when we got him, he was fairly okay, but after that, it was all downhill from there.
Any buyer's remorse on Trent as yet?
Not yet. He's not making that many errors as yet. Not yet. Time will come, I guess.
And the problem for you, for problem is that in your league, na, there are too few teams that can actually challenge.
That is there. That is there. But the other thing is, too few teams actually have the balls to challenge also. They all play a low block and they just shut shop very quickly. That's another thing.
That's why the Premier League is so much fun. You could go play a 16th to 15th ranked team and they're going to come at you hard.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree there. I agree there. But that's kind of the unfortunate reality of the situation, right? So, I mean, that's not really much of a surprise. So, when we look at the squad, Kamavinga is another player that Jabi Alonso has touted very highly. He wants him back immediately. I can see why. We had lost Kamavinga for a large portion of last season and we looked horrible without him. So, Kamavinga, Chouameni, and again, Jabi has already instituted a system. He is rotating players very frequently. He's pushing chaps out, getting chaps in. Vinny is on the bench. Next match, who knows? Bape might start on the bench. He does not.
Gamavinga is preternatural with his ball carrying ability, man. That's why even
Yeah,
as a fullback, he was so good. He's not as much of
yeah,
a passer, but you put the ball on his feet and he starts running. He's rapid. He is so rapid. And he's
yeah,
got a reasonable dribble on him. I mean, he's a very, very good player. Kamavinga, Shumeni, I mean, how many will the French keep producing? Their
yeah,
midfield line is just ridiculous, man. They just
yeah,
keep coming up with them.
yeah, yeah,
There's the second string French midfielders. Okay, some
yeah,
of them who make it to the mid tier Premier League teams are super players.
yeah, yeah,
So good on the technical and physical side.
yeah. You were talking about buyer's remorse. We do have buyer's remorse on a few. One obviously is David Alaba, but the other major one is Furlan Mendy. Oh my God, that guy has declined so badly. He's not even in his 30s as yet. He's 30 right now. So this guy has declined massively over the period of time. He has been taken over at left back by Fran Garcia and by Alvaro Carreras at this
Well, how
point. He's
many
just
years
a
does he have left on his contract?
four. That's the problem.
Oh shit! Can't sell him. Can't sell him.
Yeah, can't sell him. Can't sell him unless you are going to just offload him for cheap and say we are washing our hands clean. That's the way. I mean, some club will come. If a Syria club comes, they can definitely use him because Syria is slower than La Liga. La
Slower than
Liga is
anything.
faster.
So, are you expecting to win the league this year?
Atletico are done, already done. They're looking like they're finished straight off the bat. I don't understand why though. It's sad to see them right now
You
because
know. So
Atletico.
basically, look. My question is essentially: are you going to finish ahead of Barcelona?
Are you going to finish ahead of Barcelona? That's literally the only thing that we need to determine. Barca have started in a very interesting fashion. They won their first two games very convincingly, and then they had one of the most controversial draws of all time. Like Lamine Yamal has started to become the greatest drama player after Neymar. Neymar has basically gifted his genes over to Lamine Yamal at that rate. I'll bring up the standings, but there is one last Real Madrid player who's shown a great deal of improvement, Arda Güler. What a player. This guy
Dude,
has been beautiful.
Arda Güler is a beautiful footballer. He's a beautiful
What a
touch.
player.
He's got a great vision and his weight of pass, man. Arda Güler is a special player. He's a joy to watch. Whenever I
Yeah.
watched him for Turkey as well, right? Like when he's on the ball, you can
Yeah.
just see something's going to happen. He's his through balls for
Yeah.
the runners, which I mean, just
Yeah.
the weight on those balls is perfect. It's inch perfect, and his crossing.
Also, also the pinpoint accuracy. He's so pinpoint.
That's
He
something
doesn't even.
perfect weight on the ball. It'll reach the exact spot that he needs. That's a very special player.
And you know what's the greatest awkward story from all of this? It's poor Rodrigo. Rodrigo was rumored to go, and in fact, many were thinking he probably should. He should find some newer pastures. Like he's a Real Madrid legend. He's won us two Champions Leagues. All that is fine. But many were saying, yeah, it's time. Let's move on. But ironically, he's staying. He has a contract until 2028 or so. And I don't know who's buying him. We don't know. So at this rate, he's just like, okay, fine, I'll stay along for the ride. He's also been used in place of Vinny. Vinny's been used in place of him. It's kind of an interesting scenario where they're being used in place of each other. And Alonso, I'm loving this about him. Alonso is actually making the team press.
Tell me
There's
something.
energy on the ball.
Why is this list showing Rodrigo as a defender? It shouldn't be a winger.
Rodrigo is a FW forward.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the this designation. Sorry, I was looking at the one on the right instead of the one on the left. My mistake.
Yeah, yeah. Forward. So I mean, I was
So
looking
there
at
was
this and
some
thinking,
talk about making a bid for Rodrigo at United.
100 million is what Real Madrid are asking. 90 is probably what you'll get him for.
Yeah, 100 is not happening, bro.
90, 90 is a plausible bid in Jan. Are you willing to spend 90? That
No,
is the
absolutely
question.
not. We've already got a 90 million striker.
Then
Now
what's
we
the
have to
point? You're
buy.
not going to get him. And Real are not going to sell him at anything less. And honestly, Rodrigo also will say, it's okay, I can stay. Because look, the kind of pull that the club right now has is like you have a new manager, there's new energy. Jabi Alonso is actually using everyone in the squad right now. He's not even letting anyone stay on the bench too long. He's actually flipping everybody around. He's making absolutely sure the only two guys who are absolutely guaranteed as far as spots are concerned are the two guys who never put in a bad performance, Courtois and Valverde. They are the guys who are always there. But otherwise, everyone else is being flipped around. That's good to see. Occasionally, you need to give Courtois a break as well because you are not going to be playing him 60 games this season. Please use Lunin. Lunin is a good keeper. On the keeping note, are you glad that you got rid of Onana?
Onana is another example of a perfectly reasonable footballer.
Yeah,
He has patches where he's made no errors, and he has patches in which he makes all the errors. He's
yeah,
made drastic errors. I can't defend those errors, but United are to blame as well. You get a goalkeeper who can be a sweeper and who can be a playmaking goalkeeper. He's that good with his feet,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And the moment he arrives at United, you start this. Ten Hag of all people, who otherwise had coached him at Ajax, starts a system of this same directness, the same verticality, 3-1-6,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And suddenly he is making more long ball passes than he ever has before, and his numbers fall. So you keep getting these players in, but you don't play to their strengths.
yeah,
That doesn't
yeah,
defend his errors. His errors are egregious. They're
yeah,
absolutely egregious.
yeah,
But perhaps if you have a more controlled system, he faces fewer shots. If he faces fewer shots, perhaps he has fewer errors.
yeah,
So the thinking at United is still, I mean, that's the thing to see at the end of this season. Whether there is enough evolution, or if you get a reasonable amount of success, say playing this direct, sort of more direct system, are you going to stick with it? And
yeah,
if you stick with it, man, there are no players in the world who can keep doing this and doing this. I mean, then you probably need a rotation of six midfielders because
yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
they'll keep breaking down. This is too physical.
So, that is something that I wanted to actually bring up, the directness. So, Jabi Alonso has been running a very physical, ferocious system. That is why our first halves have been ferocious. Like, we often score a lot of goals very early on these days because we attack with such vigor and directness. The press is extremely fast, extremely high, and extremely strong, right? So, that is another thing which is going on. So, now that is the reason why he's doing so many of a double squad situation. He's literally doing the opposite of what Ancelotti was doing. He's literally using 25 players and saying that 20, I need 25 ready to go every day. I need 25. He's saying I'll play 11 in one match, other 11 in another match. Use some as subs here, use some as subs there. It's basically what he's trying to solve the football scheduling problem. Yes, it's not as big as a problem as you said earlier, but the problem is still exists, right? So he's trying to solve it through the most unique solution.
Oh
Make
no, no.
two first 11s.
Football scheduling is a major problem because you have induced so much physicality in football. If they're going to be
Yeah,
doing that many sprints, it's a problem.
yeah. So essentially, Jabi's
Number of games
solution.
hasn't necessarily changed. There are a lot of teams that used to play 60 games a season forever and ever. The same tournament,
Yeah,
same number of matches. Of course, the Champions League, new format since last season adds even more matches.
yeah,
But It's not so much that, it's how they're playing. They're all sprinting all the time, and
Yeah,
that's where the changes come. You're gonna get bionic Superman in football in 10 years, bro. Because the demand is for players who can just keep sprinting and sprinting and sprinting and sprinting.
yeah. No, that is why Jabi is doing his ultimate 2-11 system. He's basically
That's
making
what I'm
two
saying.
first 11.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why he's doing it, because he does not want any slowing down in the running.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And he
why
wants,
wouldn't you have it? You have a five sub system now,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Five subs are allowed. That's half a team. So why wouldn't you
yeah,
have at least? And if 16 is what you can put onto the pitch in any given
yeah,
match, then you
yeah,
probably need 20 to 22 who are ready to go, because you have to have
yeah,
selection ability.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I
when
agree
even
with
when
you
you're
there.
chasing a game, the number of managers nowadays who make changes to first bring on central defenders, because central defenders change the momentum of the structure of your movement from back to forth, because they want these long ball merchants, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
much of this shit has come from Germany. Is you play the ball long and then you fight for the second ball.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what is so ironic? Like in Real Madrid, now you are also starting to get these kind of players who are basically like basically saying, "I don't care about first team. I'll just stay and win a bunch of trophies here." The best example of this is Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz has never basically said on record that he wants a first team role. He's our super sub and he's happy with it. He
When
scores like
teams are
50.
on a roll like this, that used to happen all the time. United also used to, when we were on a roll, we
Used to.
used to have players who were just happy to be there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brahim is a good player. He can be a first teamer, but
Yeah, yeah,
he
that's what
doesn't.
I'm saying. I mean, but he wants to lift trophies. Where else is he going to lift trophies?
Where else is he going to do it? Exactly. I completely agree. Then let's talk about a truly generational transfer window. This was a transfer window where I was thinking, yeah, these guys are, see, they mean business. Liverpool, my God, what a transfer window. I mean, I can't even.
Might be the
500
best run
million.
club in the world.
I would say they're in the top five. There are a few others which could
Look at
hold.
those names, man. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I
That's just
mean,
ridiculous. I'm not
yeah,
a fan of Florian Wirtz. I know a lot of people like him. Maybe he'll come good. I get it, but I
yeah.
don't see this remarkable skill set in him. Not on the ball movement or nothing. But Alexander Isak is pure gold. Ekitike is the kind of player that gets me excited. That's a dribbler. That's a mover. His first touch is gorgeous, even when he's under pressure. Right? Kirkesh is a demon on that wing, man. He can keep
And they,
running and running for days. For days. Then
and they
you get
got
Jeremy Frimpong. I mean,
Frimpong,
Frimpong has
yeah.
been the most attacking wing back in Europe for what? For at least 4 seasons? These are remarkable transfers, bro. These are just stunning transfers.
And Leone. Don't forget Leone either.
I've not seen him yet.
Not yet. Okay, 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 okay. But I mean, when I look at this, right? So everyone was saying Real Madrid had an A transfer
By the
window.
way,
I get that.
how good do
I,
they think Jarel Kwanzaa is? They wanted Kwanzaa to develop. They have a $50 million, 50 million pound buyback on Kwanzaa.
he's not listed here, right? He's
No, no,
not
on the
listed here.
departures. Kwanzaa's on the
Oh,
departures.
Jarel Kwanzaa. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
35
how good
million
they
and
think he
50
is. They're
million.
willing to buy him back for 50, but let him develop fully at Leverkusen.
But football inflation has gone so crazy after the Neymar transfer that I cannot make sense of these prices
No, no, but
anymore.
so has income, right? And clubs are now getting smarter. They're managing their wages a lot better.
How much do you think prime Ronaldo would have been worth in today's market? 500 million?
Man, I'm telling you, Madrid would have paid 120 then.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
paid
yeah,
80. They would have paid 120 then, because they'd seen the worst transfer United ever did on fee is
yeah,
Beckham to Madrid.
yeah,
Beckham to
yeah.
Madrid should never have been anything less than 55 to 60 million
How
back
much
in
did we pay for?
2003.
How much did we
Sorry?
pay for him? How much?
28, 20, 25, 28, something of that sort.
That's nothing even back then.
No, no, it wasn't nothing. It was one of the, it is one of the higher transfers. But you could have
Yeah,
easy, because Beckham is the kind of marketing maniac that
yeah.
55, 60 millions coming back in months.
Months. Yeah, yeah, yeah. By the way, you know what? Ronaldo's 80 million was such a bargain. It is still considered the greatest transfer of all time. Like you could have easily gotten 100,
Ronaldo is so high quality that he gives us also one of the biggest profits you can think of. So, like, Ronaldo is a special player. I mean, if he'd said 100 million, they would have taken 100 million. hundred
Yeah,
percent, they
yeah,
would have
yeah,
taken
yeah.
100 million.
Yeah, they would have named a price. No, I am saying in today's
But
market,
it's
Messi
the
and Ronaldo would
psychology
have
of
been.
a United director of a United director of football. They don't see themselves as good sellers because if we are selling a player, the player has to be on the way down. Now the difference was Ronaldo was peaking. Right,
Yeah,
he had just won the Ballon d'Or in '08. He was close to the Ballon d'Or in '09. If his first two attacks against Barcelona go in the '09 final and we
yeah.
win the
He stays.
'09 final, he's again Ballon d'Or in '09.
And he
Okay.
stays. And he probably stays.
No. There's no question of him staying. He wanted to build
He-
his legacy. He always wanted out of Madrid.
yeah, fair enough. He was a Madrid fanboy at heart. That is there.
He's a
That is
Portuguese
there.
player. I mean, Latin. You guys have a complete uh, capture on Iberia and South America.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is there. That is absolutely there. I
The
mean,
Anglophone world will still sort of look at Manchester United as the destination, and that
yeah,
happened a few times this summer.
yeah,
Other clubs were chasing; they're higher than us. They'll pay more than us, but no, the players wanted to come to United.
yeah,
Ambumo, Cunha, and Sesko, all three said Sesko even took a pay cut to come to United.
yeah. So when you look at this transfer window, when I look at this transfer window for Liverpool, I just think of it as a
So
generational
when
one.
I look at
Is
this transfer window for Liverpool, I'm like, fuck it. Like, there's just no way we can ever catch up with these guys.
I mean,
It's Isak and Ekitike is a ridiculous. They had the great front three in Salah, Firmino, and Mane.
yeah,
Even if Salah retires at some point or leaves Liverpool, they've already replaced everybody. They've
yeah,
got a front three for the ages now.
absolutely. They've got on the front three for the ages, and
They've got a
now,
very efficient player coming in off the left,
yeah,
uh, which is Cody Gakpo. Very good player.
mm,
Very good
yeah,
player.
yeah,
But they could play Isak off the left, Ekitike through the middle, Salah off the right, with
yeah,
Wirtz behind him. The
yeah,
fuck, man? With McAllister and Gravenberg behind him,
yeah,
right? And then have Frimpong and Kirkish. That's a
yeah,
ridiculous squad. But they have been extremely vulnerable to attacks. Their defense
yeah.
has been very vulnerable at the start of the season.
Van
Uh,
Dijk is losing it. Van Dijk is
no, it's
losing his
not so
touch.
much. It's not individualistic. It's structural. They are
Yeah,
pressing with more players than they used to.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Slot won last season. He was very careful about when they will press with more players, when they
yeah,
will get ahead of the ball. Otherwise, he prefers keeping five behind the ball. It's a lot of
yeah,
what Arsenal does as well, but Arsenal are not as good in the transition. Arsenal are becoming a boring team because they just sit back too much, sometimes having as many as six behind the ball. And,
yeah,
and then they're not able to break forward at speed and get ahead of the ball enough. So they're not scoring
yeah,
enough goals. And they lost title last season because in a couple of crucial matches, they played with that same mentality and they couldn't score when they needed to.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But Liverpool this season, I mean, crazy first game against Bournemouth,
yeah,
where you've got to see that Anton Semenyo goal. He basically cuts through the entire Liverpool team, getting the ball. He doesn't even cut through the team. He gets the ball on his D, just outside of
yeah,
his penalty area. And
yeah,
most of the Liverpool team is behind him
yeah,
because that's how many have pressed forward. And as he
yeah,
runs
yeah,
through the midfield, the seize part, like he goes from his penalty area to score in their penalty area and doesn't
yeah.
face one challenge.
Doesn't face one challenge. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah,
And the reason he doesn't face one challenge is partly because the reason why Virgil van Dijk is never dribbled past because Virgil van Dijk never makes a challenge. So he's never dribbled past. He keeps running with the guy, hopes he makes an error and tries to sneak in. Semenya made no
yeah,
error. This
yeah,
happened to them in other matches as well.
yeah, yeah,
They're-
yeah.
but that forward line's ridiculous, man. It's an incredible forward line. They're going to be huge even in Europe this season.
UCL mainly has a few contenders right now. There's obviously Real Madrid and Barcelona for obvious reasons. There is Liverpool, Man
Bayern,
City are done. PSG are still
Bayern.
around.
Sorry,
Bayern. Bayern
PSG
are
and
there.
Bayern, definitely. Bayern's a very good team this season.
Yeah, PSG and Bayern, and
That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
that's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if we look at Mr. Pep Guardiola and his unfortunate descent into
Very, very
madness,
simple, man. Pep has stopped pepping. It's just
yeah,
not, the system's not working anymore. System's
yeah,
not working like it used to. He's bought a lot of these players. Like I look at Cherky, right?
yeah,
Ryan Cherky is as technical as you will ever find a player to be. He's phenomenally technical, but he
yeah,
doesn't have intensity. And if you lack intensity, this league will chew you up and spit you out. The greatest example of that being Jadon Sancho. Sancho's got all
yeah,
the technical skill in the world, but if you're not a beast, if you're not a runner, if you're not rapid, if you're not
yeah.
thinking fast, you're fucked. This league will kill you. And I
This
just
league will
get the
kill you.
feeling that he has to develop an animal inside of him, man. He's got to develop the mongrel inside of him. He doesn't develop that, it's not happening. Uh, so far, Reinders is a beautiful player, lovely player, but again, I get the feeling with him that the league's going to punch him up a bit.
Yeah. How about Ryan Ait Nouri?
Aitnuri is from the league, so Aitnuri is a known commodity, and Aitnuri
Mm,
will always attack well. Aitnuri has mostly played a back five system. His
yeah,
defensive skills
yeah.
are a little bit more suspect, but a very
Then
good player, very good technical player.
we can talk about Guardiola's greatest transfer success, Jack Grealish. The man has finally departed Man City. Treble
Yeah,
season
and
aside.
by the way, he is the king of assists in the league right now at Everton. That guy is meant to be the king of a small pond. He's meant for that. Some guys they need that ego, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
Grealish is a disaster transfer, but in the treble season, he contributed when they needed him.
yeah, yeah. But nothing before, nothing after.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
nothing.
He's a disaster. Overall, he's a disaster, but he contributed when it was needed. And he is meant to be in a small team, be the king of the small team.
100 million for him, by the way.
And
100 million.
I can't wait for Donnarumma. I can't wait
Yeah.
for him. Donnarumma, if he has a weakness, it's high balls into his zone.
Yeah,
Brother, in the Premier League, you're gonna get those all game long.
yeah, yeah,
And you're gonna get demons stomping all over you trying to get to that ball. You can crib and cry all you want. You're gonna get up. These are the same mistakes United keepers make. So I'm very interested. Great shot stopper. I'm not disputing that.
yeah.
Also, not as good with his feet as Pep has always wanted. His like they had Edison, man. Edison's a magician with his feet.
Yeah,
Edison is the only goalkeeper the world looks at and says you can let every shot go in. It doesn't matter. You're that good with your feet. He is an assist or two a season,
yeah, yeah,
right? And so Edison is sort of an extreme opposite to Donnarumma.
yeah,
So I want to see
yeah,
how
yeah,
Donnarumma fits in Pep's version of the world.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The Manc Derby is on Sunday. It'll be fun. I think United have a chance in that derby. Also because City are also weak right now. As a
City have
United,
had a worse start than you guys. City have had a worse start than you guys.
but they're playing better football than us. They're
Yeah,
playing more sensible football. I'm not say better, but more sensible football than us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then let's talk about the team which really cannot get its head straight at any point and relies on magic from La Masia to save it, which is effective sometimes. I mean,
But no,
look,
I've come to hate this club over a period of time.
yeah, Barca, yeah.
This is a joke, too. Like you lever after lever, you're 1.2 billion in debt. You continue to keep signing players. This shit. What is the purpose of any
They
of these
haven't
rules?
even registered Marcus Rashford yet. That is the kind of nonsense that they're pulling. I mean, they haven't made a profit. They're ridiculous in their financial
They
situations,
are
and they
going to regret the Marcus Rashford loan. I know what Marcus Rashford is when he was playing well, when his heart was in it. Outstanding striker. Like this guy could terrorize the defense on his own because his speed was that much and he was a good finisher. He's got a great
yeah,
shot on him.
yeah,
He has lost his discipline. And once you lose
yeah,
your discipline, very, very hard to get it back.
yeah, yeah. No, but let's actually look at the situation, right? So they antagonize their current keeper, who's under Andre Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen, they basically try to shove him out of the club without paying him his salary. That's the kind of nonsense they were trying to pull. They tried to remove him without contract. Then what happens is, then they buy John Garcia for 25 million. I have no idea how they accomplished that. That guy is actually worth 35, 40. I have no idea how they got him for that cheap. He's a very good keeper, by the way.
Probably pushed to come to Barca.
Yeah, but and he probably
True,
wanted to
I'm
come.
kind of sick of Barca. Yeah. I have no sympathy for Barca. I really don't like them as a club right now. I think what's going on with them and their finances has made a joke out of the whole system.
Yeah, yeah. And the unfortunate reality is, like, they don't seem to have the writing on the wall and say, let's just bring it down for a couple of years. Let's just tank for a bit, then come back. Because if they do that, Yamal will still be around. It's not like he's going anywhere. He's 18, so it's not going
Bro,
to.
they have no concept of building anymore. They went down the rabbit hole with Neymar's transfer and Coutinho's transfer, and they've
Yeah.
never properly emerged from it. That's my view.
Yeah, because last year, yes, Hansi Flick saved them, but the Barca managerial job is becoming a worse job than the Real Madrid managerial job. I never thought I'd say this in my lifetime, but Perez has become a more disciplined hiring firing guy than Joan Laporta. Joan Laporta, that guy has a trigger finger that's so fast you won't even be able to see it anymore. That's the kind of nonsense that they're pulling right now. It's insane.
Yeah, the Barca are what they are, man. Let's call it a night. I think we've discussed more than enough. Football's going to be
Yeah, back.
very interesting this season. Some good teams. To me, as a United fan, just wanting to watch how we develop as a team.
Yeah,
Whether this style continues, and if this style continues, then how much of a price do we pay for it going forward?
yeah.
Uh, let's see how it goes.
So listen, we made a deal with each other, but I'll just tell you, I'll watch United whenever I can. That'll be rare. Sometimes I will watch, sometimes I
No,
won't.
it's okay. I think what we can do is then you talk Real, I'll talk United, and I won't
Yeah,
interfere. You
that's
won't
not an issue
interfere.
as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. By the way, Real Madrid and all of La Liga is available on fan code, not on any other channel. Just
No,
as
I
an
know, I
aside.
know it is. I know it is.
Thank you so much for listening to this with us. It was a pleasure to talk all of these events and the events and happenings with you all. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We'll be back very soon, probably in another 2 weeks or so, and we'll be back discussing more football. We are not going to be discussing the Asia Cup as told in the previous video, just as a reminder. Thank you so much, and please hashtag don't watch the Asia Cup. Indian lives matter more than cricket trophies. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you so much, and see everybody soon.